Hey, Reg.
Hello, Theodore.
How are you,
Hello,
bud?
Danettes. I'm
Hey,
doing well. How are you guys doing?
good. Have you seen Ben Simmons from LSU?
Oh, of course. Yes.
What'd you
Who
think?
hasn't?
What'd you think?
I love his game. I love his feel for the game. I love how he controls the action at both ends of the floor, not only defensively, but for his size to be able to, secure a rebound and, be a one-man fast break or a facilitator for his teammates. So I know, everyone's comparing him to LeBron James just for the simple fact he does everything. If you look at the stat sheet at the end of the game, from points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, he's just, again, as a freshman, he's just a joy to watch.
I think it's dangerous to get into that. He's the next LeBron.
I never like doing that, but that's how we, for the novice fan, people say, well, who does he play like? And, you go, well, he kind of plays like LeBron James. It's easy for people to relate to that. But I just think that the way he controls the action, and, you can talk about offense all you want. I think defensively he's just as sound because of his length and being able to block shots. He's great.
I saw where Dirk Nowitzki was talking about Porzingis, and he said he's better at that age than I was. And is Porzingis better than what people thought he was going to be?
Oh, certainly. People just saw this long, tall, angular, gangly kind of guy and was like, this dude is going to be a project. But, obviously Phil Jackson and that coaching staff and the scouting department, they saw something that they could build around. And I think he has surprised most. I think what threw people off is when Phil Jackson compared him to Sean Bradley.
It threw me off, Reg.
That did that kid a disservice because when you think of Sean Bradley, though he had a long NBA career, he didn't jump out like, oh my God, Sean Bradley. You were like, really, Sean Bradley? But this kid plays nothing like Sean Bradley.
No,
Sean Bradley wishes he could do some of the things that Porzingis could do.
And
I think that's why people were taken back is when Phil Jackson compared this kid to Sean Bradley.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I thought, oh my gosh, if that's the case, then you might see some pockets of greatness here, but he's not going to develop into something that we haven't seen before.
And again, Sean Bradley had a nice, long, serviceable NBA career, but it was nothing that really stood out. Porzingis is a star in the making. And he does a little bit of everything. And with that size, and I can see the comparison to Dirk. He has a long way to go offensively to be like Dirk, but I can see where the comparison and where people can relate their games together. But it was just cool to see both of them on the floor because you could obviously see that Porzingis has really modeled his game and looks at Dirk as one of those icons, especially, in European basketball, Dirk being the one guy that everyone kind of patterns their game and hopefully their career after.
Kobe Bryant says he doesn't want any on-court ceremonies or gifts, but
allow it. So what, Kobe? You're going to get it.
But is that faux humility? Is he actually want the gifts, but he's saying
no, it's not. No. I told you he really does not like these kind of pats on the back because that's never been Kobe. He always looked you straight in the eye and tried to, rip your heart out. He does not want this. I genuinely feel he does not. But so what, Kobe? It's part of being one of the top 10 players to ever play this game. And love him or hate him, you deserve this. So sit back and let people pat you on the back and go out and play the best possible game, you could possibly play. But it's whether he likes it or not, teams are going to do it because it's a sign of respect. And he just has to allow it.
What would be the perfect gift that you would give him?
That personally Reginald Wayne Miller would give him?
Because I was thinking
Aloysius.
Maybe your jumper he could use right now.
Oh, God. That is a low blow. This is a guy that has 30,000 points now. I doubt that he needs my jumper, Theodore.
He could use it right now, Reg, not before, but maybe right now.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. Did you see the game in Washington?
Yes, that was great.
That was vintage Kobe.
That was fun.
That was great.
That was fun.
And I told people, because there was games my last year, I felt like I was 25. I'm like, why am I retiring? Because you're going to have games when you feel like you're turning back the hands of time and you can compete with these young guys. And then there'll be other games when you go out there, and when you take a wide-open shot and it falls 2 feet flat and 3 feet to the right, you're like, I was wide open. Wide open, 2 feet short, 3 feet wide. I'm like, something is wrong with me. So he's going to have moments like that. Just don't get discouraged. Please try and get through the season, unhurt, so people can pat you on the back, Black Mamba.
I saw Steph Curry miss 3 free throws in a game the other night.
Shocking, right?
Did you ever miss 3 free throws in a game?
Yes, and that's when I knew it was time for me to retire. It happened like either the year before I retired or the year I retired. Because when you start missing free throws, that should be the last thing Steph not that Steph is going to retire, but when I start missing free throws, I missed 3 in a game, 2 in a row. I just it's devastating because, first of all, when you're 36, 37, 38, it's hard enough to score as is. But when you get the charity whistle from the official and you get a chance to go to the free throw line and you're missing free throws.
Yeah, but your last year was your best year. You shot 93%.
I did, but there was a couple games where, again, you could turn back the hands of time, and there's other times you're seeing double up there, Theodore. I was seeing double.
You made 250 out of 268, Aloysius.
But remember that last year I had advanced minutes because of the brawl going down. Everyone was suspended on my team, so I had to play. If Steven Jackson would have been healthy the whole year and Ron would have played the whole year, I probably would have averaged 18 to 22, 23 minutes. But I had to play 30 to 35 minutes because for the first month, we had 8 guys.
Does the streak end tonight? Do you want to call the Pacers over the Warriors tonight?
It does end tonight.
It does.
And I know people listening or watching are going to say, well, of course he's going to say the Pacers. I look at the matchups, and on this show I told you that this league is a copycat league, and the Warriors are the best small ball team in the league. They create so much space with their passing and their shooting. When they go small with Draymond at 5 and Iggy at 4, or Harrison Barnes at 4, though he hasn't played the last couple of games, and Iggy at 3, and Clay and Steph, they're the best small ball team. And what Frank Vogel came into this year and saying, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put Paul George at 4. And other than Steph Curry, Paul George has been the best player.
Yeah.
And I think when they go small, and they've got C.J. Miles, who's played, no one's even talking about C.J. Miles and what he has done for the Pacers this year. With George Hill, Monte Ellis, C.J. Miles, Paul George at 4, and Jan Mahimi, that is a lineup that can compete, certainly at home in Baker's Life Fieldhouse. That's why I'm just looking at the matchups. I really do believe that's why the Pacers are going to win tonight, is because of their small ball lineup.
Calling the shot.
They stopped the shot. I'm not discrediting what Golden State is doing, because they'll have, and if they don't win tonight, they'll have another tough one on Friday because of the small ball that the Celtics play on Friday. These next 2 games are I wouldn't say huge because they're up 22-0, but this is a good test for that Golden State Warriors team. But look, these dudes are playing out of their freaking minds, and the thing that's on their side right now is Klay Thompson has found his shot. Coming into this road trip, he has not shot the ball particularly well, but if you look at all the games that's been on this road trip, he has been lights out. So now you add him with Steph and with Draymond Green, and Bogut has missed a game. Barnes has not played because of the ankle injury. They're playing lights out. But having said all that, tonight the buck stops in Indiana.
Okay, but before I let you go, let's say they go undefeated on this road trip. Do they then?
And
they beat the Bulls?
Breaking that record.
They will break the Bulls record.
If they go undefeated on the remaining games of this trip, then they're going to beat that 72-10 Bulls team. But having said all that, I'm not quite sure Luke Walton, Steve Kerr they really want to tax themselves the second half of the season.
I agree. I think they could go after the 33 in a row that the Lakers had in the early 70s.
Huge, and all those other teams between Oklahoma, between the Clippers, San Antonio Spurs, they're all going to be jockeying to get 2 through 4. So why tax yourself when you're clearly going to have the best record in the Western Conference and the league? I'm not quite sure the Warriors are going to want to tax themselves after the All-Star break. But look, if they are 38 and 2 or 3 come All-Star break, yeah, I could see them kind of saying, you know what, let's go for it.
Reggie will be calling Clippers at the Bulls, 8 Eastern this Thursday night on TNT. Aloysius, good to chat with you again, bud. Safe travels.
Theodore, I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
All right, Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer. And he's called the shot. The Pacers stopped the streak tonight.